how do you get over obsessing with your own looks and being all up in your head about how you look and it affects your confidence? So it's always going to be in your head to some degree. I don't think, unless you're completely enlightened, that's going to be in your head. There's still times like if I see a guy who's 6'5" and like a girl approaches him and he's super good looking, there's going to be a moment where I feel envious, right? I'll feel it for a second. It doesn't happen nearly as often as it used to, but that's just a thought and a feeling you're going to have occasionally, but I don't obsess over it. And what happens is, I mean, sometimes I'll see that super good looking guy like pull a three. I have this friend in Vegas who is a Chippendales model who is 6'5", maybe 6'6". He has, like a Thor physique. Anyone would say he's at least a 9 out of 10 in looks, right? And yet this guy, do I see him get some opportunities where girls are clearly into him? Yes, of course. But what's surprising? Even this guy is the top 0.1%. The girls he actually pulls, way less attractive than the ones I pull or ones many people I know pull. Honestly, I've seen him pull girls that are like a 3 out of 10 because his self-esteem isn't there. And, just the way he thinks about it, the way he acts, he gets in his own way. And you realize that, yes, sure, being better looking is great, but are you even maximizing what you're capable of besides that, right? Like the things in your control, are you doing anything to maximize them? And then when you say, no, first of all, I'm not even maximizing my appearance. So why am I making an excuse when I'm not even maximizing it? I'm not shredded. I'm not, And then secondly, once you start talking to a bunch of girls, once you start putting yourself out there in a vulnerable way, not in a trolly way where you half-ass it and you intentionally get yourself rejected, but when you genuinely put yourself out there and put yourself on the chopping block to where the girl can really reject you, but she can also really like you and really be receptive, you do that enough times and you think about that less and less, because guess what? When you're making out with a hot girl, you can think about how, it'd be nice if I was 6'5", it'd be nice if I was ripped, but you're not going to be obsessing over it because why does it matter? Because you still have this hot girl. So, anything when it comes to thinking is the more you're doing, the less that you're going to be in reaction through your mindset, through your thoughts, through your beliefs, right? So it's a sign, if you're thinking that you are, I guarantee, based on this comment, you're not taking a lot of action, right? Maybe you're approaching, probably not. But even if you are, I guarantee you're half-assing it, right? You're not actually going for it. You're not going out and then at the end of the night, you've either approached like 30, 40 girls, everyone there that you found attractive, and maybe going home alone. You're not doing that, right? I can guarantee that you're not doing that. And that's why you're thinking this way, because if the more you're in thought, the more that's a sign to you that I need to be doing more, that I need to be doing more. Then the second piece of advice, honestly, is practice mindfulness meditation. This is, maybe this is going to start being like a spiritual seduction channel where that's like half my advice. But if there's one thing that will not only actually help your game, but also just help you not get caught in these thought loops and not be so obsessive and start to feel like you're just like, it's a record that's stuck. The best way to get out of that way of thinking is to meditate. Because when you meditate, you're practicing becoming aware of your thoughts. It's not about stopping your thoughts. It's about noticing them and then going back to whatever your point of focus is. So that could be your breath. That could be, the sounds around you, what you're looking at. There's a lot of different types of mindfulness, but that's the basic idea. And so you'll start to realize my thoughts are just thoughts. My emotions are just emotions. They're not objectively true. I'm just thinking that I'm not sure if you're allowed to say the R word on YouTube anymore. It's pretty, cocked. Probably can't even say that. But it's really dumb. I'm really dumb on some level. There's a part of my brain that's just thinking all these dumb things, and I don't need to believe that voice in my head. That voice in your head is not objective, right? It's not fact. It's not telling you fact. It feels like fact. You want to be deceived by it because that's how our brain is designed. Because if we didn't believe the voice in our head, then we'd be all over the place. But when you realize that it's just a voice, it's just thoughts, a lot of them are made up, a lot of them are rationalizations, a lot of them are bullshit, and you can separate from them, not get so entangled with them, then that will have less power over. So 1 is actually take action. 2 is practice mindfulness. And 3 is if you're going out to bars and clubs, yes, you will see the super tall, handsome guy get approached occasionally. First of all, you'll see it's very rarely a hot girl anyway, right? Like the Adonis, the guy, he literally calls himself Adonis as his stage name. Maybe I shouldn't have said that because he might watch this, but well, oops. It'll be motivation for him to go for hotter girls. But anyway, so if I see him get approached, but it's like 5s and 6s, you know? And you'll see guys who are not that attractive, not that good looking with hot girls all the time and having success and making out and whatever. And that'll also help.